Welcome csc102. This is PP03. We're skipping over 02, and this is our self-playing slideshow, meaning it's going to play on its own without us having to hit the space bar or enter any keys like that or use any clicker. And it's real simple, and we're just going to do something similar to what we did on our last PowerPoint or our last Google Slides. Now, again, this video is for Google Slides, but I'm going to show you the example from PowerPoint. Now, if I play this one, now I'm not touching my keyboard, it does a little transition where it kind of like goes up, and then it goes a couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds, and then it shows another slide. Now, these are tractors. We don't have to do tractors. You can do anything you want. And you can see they have a nice little border on them, a nice little drop shadow. We're going to do something like that. And that's all it is. I think there's like 5 of these. You could do like 5 of them and a title slide. Do something you like. If you like puppies or birds or cats or whatever you like, tractors, cars. I was into tractors. I like watching tractors in the field, so I did a tractor slideshow. Now this one loops, so it goes back to the beginning. So you can have it so it doesn't loop, or you could have a blank slide at the end. But that's all we're going to do. So, and we can do that in Google Slides, I believe. Be a little bit different than doing it in PowerPoint. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're going to work towards. So I'm going to go back to Google Slides, and I'm going to open up something in Google Slides, and I'll just make a blank one. And this time, right off the bat, I'll give it a name. And I'll just call it PP03 self-playing PP and do an underscore with my last name, first initial. So that's all I need for there. I'm going to try and do a background image. This last time I inserted an image with this icon and put it behind everything. And let me try it with a background image and see how that works. The only problem is I don't have the ability to turn down the opacity. So I got to find something nice and light. So I'm going to right click on the background and choose change background. And you could do a color or an image. You can't do both. And I'm going to do an image search, and I'm going to try like a white linen background image. White linen background. We'll see what we come up with here. Let me find something less harsh for a white linen. I guess some of these were okay. Let me try that. That looks nice and subtle. That's better. It hardly looks like anything, but that's okay. We're just going to put pictures over here, so that's fine. But what's nice, you don't have to resize it, and it's going to be on every slide. Now, this is just my title slide, and again, let's just take a look at this to see what the title slide. It should say My PP03 Slideshow and your name. So we can use the title boxes that we have here. So I'm just going to go back here and say PP03. Now, this is self-playing, but you don't have to put that. So I'm going to do that, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, so let me just change the font. I'm probably not going to leave it Arial because that doesn't look too nice. I'll go to my font here and then my drop down, and maybe I'll do George. Oh, how about lobster? I'll do lobster. That looks normally I wouldn't recommend doing that, but I'll try that for now and see how that looks. And I'll make it a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll try to do something that goes with that. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to change a color. Now, I might change my color based on what image, because I'm probably going to put a little image in here. And I'll just put my name like I did on the previous one. And I'll just leave it like that for now, because I'm not sure what I want to do. Now, you can also make this align to the top. So you can go in here and say align to the top, and then kind of shorten this a little bit, because then maybe we'll put like a little image in here or something. And again, you can move these things around. You can grab on the edges of these and move them, and they have little guides that'll show up. So I might put a little image down here. And of course, I'm not going to like having this. So I have to change this. I can't leave it as lobster. I'll go back to Roboto Slab. That's what I used last time. And I'll use use the drop down here. I'll just use bold. I think that looks nice. So I'll try with that, and I'll find something that kind of contrasts nice, but I'm going to wait until I find some pictures. Now, I'm not even sure what I'm going to use here. I think I might use maybe birds. It's springtime. I see a lot of birds outside. There's robins and cardinals and all kinds of things, and I like checking out the birds when they're out. And I like hearing them like when they chirp at night and things like that. So let me do this. So I'm going to just duplicate this slide. So I'm just going to right click on this and say duplicate slide. And I don't really need this here. I can delete this. Now, to delete it, you want to click on it with the 4-sided arrow and then just hit delete, and it should go away. And I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to move this down here because I might put some kind of description, you know, of like put a cardinal or something. I'm not sure what kind of birds I'm going to find, but I'll go find some birds. So I'm going to go up here. Now, you could do this separately, I think, and copy and paste in. So instead of inserting image, you might want to try to do this. Just see if we could copy and paste them. So I'm just going to do a regular Google search in another tab here, and I'm going to just search a cardinal. Now you could search birds, but I'll search a cardinal, and I'll do images, and I'll just find a nice little picture of a cardinal, and Again, you don't want anything too big, so when you hover over these, you want to look at the sizes of these. That's 480 by 360. That's not too huge. If you have something that's like 4,000 or something, that's really going to slow down what you're doing. So you don't want to do too much of that. And we can crop these. So I'm going to right click on this and say copy image. And you should be able to go here and just do like a Control V if you're on Windows, or Command V, however you paste. And it should just paste it. So then you don't have to do that insert image. And if you want to crop it, they have a crop tool here. And if you want to bring it in a little bit, you could crop it a little bit if there's extra space that you don't need. And you got to make sure to get right on that and get these arrows to crop it. And that looks pretty good. And then if you click off it, it'll be cropped. Now, if you want to put a little border on it, you could go here, and I'll do a white border color. I'll do a nice white, and I'll make it nice and thick, maybe like 8 points, something like that, so it looks like a snapshot. And then I'll also put a drop shadow on it. And I don't want themes here, so I'm going to go here to Format Options. I closed up themes and went to Format Options, and I'll just click on drop shadow, and let me click on that again so I don't see the cropping area. And then for drop shadow, I'm going to leave transparency at 50%. The angle, like I said, we want to probably have that around 45 or close to it. And then the distance we want to increase a little bit, maybe to around 10. Not a whole lot, between 10 and 15. I'll do 15. That's, I think, what I did on the last one. And blur I'll take up to around 10. And even maybe I'll increase the transparency a little bit more, maybe up to around 60. So it's not really harsh. So that looks pretty good. And I'll just kind of center that manually. There's a cardinal. And, you know, if you don't like this font, if you want to do something nicer here than Arial, maybe I'll do, well, I was doing Roboto Slab, so I could do Roboto Slab, and I'll just do a light version of it. If I want to align it up and down, I just have to open up my text options here, look for the align, up and down, and that looks pretty good. So that's a cardinal. So there I got one. So I just got a couple more to do. So I'm going to right click here and duplicate slide. And now this one, so I'll just say Robin. I know what a Robin is. And I'm going to click on here and delete this, because this is where my Robin's going to go. So I'm going to go here, and I'll just go up here and I'll search for Robin. And I'm not going to do all these because you don't want to watch me do a whole bunch of birds here. So I'll do a Robin, and that's a nice looking Robin there. So I'll just click on it, and it's saying 1200. So this is a little on the bigger side, but it's a nice picture. So I'll copy that image, and I'll just paste it, and there it is. And you can paste in ping images too that are transparent. It gives you a problem sometimes when you import things like that, but that's cropped pretty well. I'll make it a little bit smaller. And you might say, well, now I want to put that same border that I have on the other one, and I just want to see if I could do this. If I click on this picture and I use the paint format, they have the, you know, the brush in Word. This has the paint roller, and I'll go here, and look at that. That was easy. So I was able to copy the same formatting from that picture, so I didn't have to go back and add all those things again. So there's my Robin, and I'll do another one here. Maybe I'll just duplicate slide on this one, fourth slide, and it's my third in my list. I'm just going to get rid of this again, and maybe I'll put a blue jay. That's a nice looking blue jay there. Copy image, paste my blue jay, put it over top of there. And remember, go back to here, click on this, then click on the paint roller, then go back here and apply it. So yeah, I can apply that same formatting. So there's my blue jay, and I'll do another one here. This isn't taking that long. Duplicate slide. I'll stop after 4, just so I could show you how the self-playing slideshow works. I got to think of another bird. Let me put a sparrow on here. Good. That's 1200. That's not too bad, so I'll copy that. Copy image. Get rid of this one. Make sure I replace the text, so it says sparrow. Click off. There's my new sparrow. Looks a little distorted to begin with. Normally I would say don't distort them, but that looks good. And I'll go here, click on this, click on the paint roller, then go back and click on this again, and that applies that. So I have 4 of these here, and maybe I'll just throw something on the front. Goldfinch, there we go. And I'm just going to copy this, copy image. And I'll go back here, and I'll put this one on the front. I'll just paste it here, small, and I'll just put it right here in the middle. And maybe I'll rotate a little bit. I grab this little thing here and rotate a little bit. And also, I can go back here, and any one of these, and click on here, click on the paint roller, and apply that. And if you could still change it, so if you thought the border was too thick here, you could go here and maybe just make it like 4. And you can move anything around. I can move this up a little bit. And you put bird in here. Maybe I'll change the color a little bit. Maybe I'll just make it a little grayer. I'll get a little warm color in there. They kind of pull out from the bird. And I'll go a little bit smaller so it fits in nice there. Now it all fits on one line. So that looks all right. Again, probably my tractor one probably looked better than this, but that's okay. So the idea is just how to make a self-playing slideshow. So this thing's saved already. So I just have 4 in here plus my title. You can add more if you want. Now what I'm going to do to actually make it animate. Now this is it doesn't have a place to kind of self-animate it, but what you could do is you could click on the first slide and go to transition, and whatever you want to do, and maybe you want to try something different here instead of just fade. They have like a gallery. Here I'll do a gallery of it. Although since we have little pictures in there, I'll just say slide from left. I'll see what that looks like, and I'll say apply to all slide. Now when you present, I'll just present it right now. What's going to happen is you're going to hit the space bar and it's going to do that. And there's my cardinal, my robin, my blue jay, and my sparrow, and it's not going back to the beginning, and that's okay. But what I want to do is make it self-playing. So this will be a little bit different. So one last step you're going to have to do here is they don't do it through here. So what you could do to make it self-playing is you can actually do this. You could go File, Publish to the Web. File, Publish to the Web. And then they have a thing here that says Auto Advanced Slide. So you can make a little slideshow here. And it should use the transition that you already have. So it says Auto Advanced Slides every 3 seconds. So maybe we'll do every 5 seconds. Actually for this, I'll leave it on 3 so it doesn't take so long. But you could make it longer if you want. And then it says Start Slideshow as soon as the player loads. And we want to do that just to make sure it works. And then restart the slideshow after the last slide. Since we only have 4, I'll do that. So what you could do now is just hit publish, and it's going to give you a link, and that will make that animated one. So that's the way you can do that. So I'm going to hit publish, and it says, are you sure you want to publish? And I'll just hit OK. And then it gives me a link. And then what you could do is you could even try it out. You could even go in here and paste it somewhere and see what happens. And you should be able to leave go of your computer, and it should go on its own. So it makes your own self-playing slideshow. And that's actually what we want to do. It's actually a little more work in PowerPoint. And there it's back at the beginning again. So that's all you need to do. Now, with this link here, I think is my link still up? My link's still here. So I could close this up. My link's still here. And what you could do is you could copy this, copy the link, and then instead of submitting just your PowerPoint, you could submit this link. And it would almost be nice to have both, really. So, if you think of it, if you're doing the Google Slides one, I'd almost rather you did this, is go into your assignment. Now I'm going to go back to coursework. This is going to be PP03 under Unit 11. And here's the self-playing slideshow. And I'll just add a comment, and I'll add a link, and I'll paste this in here, and text to display. I'm actually going to put web slideshow. Now make sure you do it here and not up in the URL. The URL should be the one that's the animated one when you did publish for web, and you can just call it web slideshow. And then put new window, and I'll hit OK. And then I'll just hit save. And then go back here, close this up, and then also share your original slide presentation that you have so that I could see what you did or if you had any problems. So that way you can still go here to share. You could still get the shareable link. You could copy this, copy that link, and that's going to be different than the one that's auto playing. And then you could just add a second comment here and paste it in. And if you even want to put, you could just leave it the way it is. This is the presentation, so you could just leave it in here. And as long as you have one of them labeled that it's the web one, and then just make this new window and hit OK and hit save, and then you'll have 2 things in here. So this is the presentation that's playing your slideshow. This is your original file that I can look at. So 2 things to do if you're using Google Slides for this. Send me the publish from the web for that, and then also just send me your regular file so I can see that as well. And again, you don't have to upload anything. I'll see your comment in there. If there's any problem with the upload or closes it out, I'll take care of that. and that's all you have to do. So that's all you have to do for self-playing slideshow if you're going to use Google Slides. So that wasn't too bad actually for doing this. Again, I never did this before, any of these things with Google Slides, so that's not too bad. So I could have picked better fonts and better background colors here, but you get the idea. So that's PP03, and we only have one more PowerPoint assignment to do.